From our studios in beautiful Mandan, North Dakota, along the mighty Missouri River, here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
VR, or virtual reality, is coming of age. We'll be hearing more about that with Matthew Chaussey of Be More Colorful later in the show. We'll also have talking about a new platform for pilots and drone pilots. It's a content distribution system or platform for them that we'll be talking about later as well. Of course, we have some of the latest in tech news at the control panel. Producer extraordinaire Jim Walsh.
Hello.
You're crumpling papers.
Oh, no.
I'm just okay. Going over your work schedule for the day.
Just getting my ducks in a row here.
Thought maybe you had some breaking news that we had to talk about.
No.
So, yeah.
It's a slow news day. And
it really is, isn't it? We were just talking about that before we came on. It's like, everybody has Monday head today.
It would seem like that.
Yeah.
The whole world.
That's Nick Wrestler's phrase for Mondays, when you're just not quite where you should be. I don't know if it's because it was just a nice weekend or what the deal is.
Well, my big thing is I'm waiting to hear on the car. My car's in the shop again.
Oh no.
It broke down again. Left me stranded again.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has been a common occurrence lately.
I know.
So this is
it
not
may
good.
be time to move on.
Maybe. You kind of get to that point, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And so it'll be somebody else's problem then, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just like it works, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, I had a good night. I had a nice weekend. I was over in Fargo over the weekend. I was at Sway Day on Saturday. It's their celebration around National Hammock Day.
Okay.
So they had a bunch of people setting up in Island Park, and just in hammocks. The whole point is that you just go and lay around for a day.
My kind of day.
Yeah. It was pretty well attended.
That's pretty much what I do every day.
So that was kind of fun. But yeah, there's so Paint. I'm sure. Have you ever used Paint, Jim?
Paint?
Paint, like Microsoft Paint.
No.
Okay, so this program has been with Microsoft since 1985. So we're talking about going back to before Windows, and it's basically been packaged with every version of Microsoft products since 1985, or an operating system since 1985, and they're killing it. It's going bye-bye. So I suppose programs like Paint Shop and Paint Pro and all these other programs that are out there, and I don't think they've done much with Paint over the years, so it's just going to go bye-bye, I guess. So in a future Windows 10 update, they are just going to take it off of your computer. So I don't know. Obviously, you've never used Paint before, Jim?
No, you're talking about something from back in the day of MS-DOS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about. So I was just thinking about 1985 is obviously DOS. I know there was the first GUI, or graphical user interface, was Windows 3.
Right.
And then 3.1. And I'm thinking those came out about 91, 92. Of course,
sounds about right.
Windows 95 came out around 1995, in 98, 98. So
yeah, I remember they had the little video with the two people from Friends.
Oh yeah,
the show.
That's right. That's exactly right. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I haven't used Paint for a long time. I guess I occasionally use it for some quick editing of a photo or something, but it's not.
I would
my
know how to
program.
use it. Yeah, I would know how to use it.
So, in fact, the last time I used it, it felt so antiquated. I just gave up using it because I didn't know how to make the things work anymore because it wasn't very good. But anyway, just letting you know that something that people have been using for over 3 decades. That's hard to believe that we've been using computers in the home for over 3 decades, but we have. This is interesting. So they call this the Sea Turtle, and it's the letter C and then a dash turtle. It's the landmine detecting robot turtle.
Mm-hmm.
So landmines have been in the news a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
Because especially with the situation with ISIS over in Iraq, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the town off the top of my head. Starts with an M. Help me out.
It's not Tikrit.
But
that was Saddam's hometown.
They had taken over the town and had been sitting there for a long time. So anyway, they claim it's going to take 10 years to get rid of all the mines they have stashed around there. So as I was reading this, I was thinking about that. So the Sea Turtle is a disposable landmine detecting robot that has been developed by Arizona State University. It's just a couple students there that have developed this. its current demining robots can handle repeated blows, or the current ones that we have out there will handle repeated blows to them, right? I mean, so it's a huge machine that when it goes over a landmine, it explodes, of course, and then they're able to go on. But these machines are very, very expensive, and after time, they do wear out, too. I mean, they have to fix these things all the time because they're basically designed to handle things that blow up, so they have to fix these things. The sea turtle is disposable. It's a one-time use only thing.
Okay.
It's made from cardboard. Think about that. It's made from cardboard, powered by a Raspberry Pi, so this very, very little computer operating system, and costs $65.
Oh, that's not bad.
So basically, this thing just crawls along the ground, looks like kind of a turtle, and just slowly crawls along the ground and sets off mines. And every time it sets one off, it costs $65.
Saving lives.
It's amazing.
How much is a life worth? It's certainly worth $65.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would imagine that the huge things that they use probably cost millions of dollars and have to, and the whatever it takes to fix them all the time. So that's pretty impressive to me. $65 and made from cardboard. And
not
just
too shabby.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can just construct them on the go. That's the other thing that's neat about this is that it's not something that you order. I guess you order the parts for it and then you send, you bring them in, but you just if you want to set up 20 of these things to work out through that landmine out there, just go for it, you guys.
Now, the idea is to deliberately set off the landmine?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Clear off an area and then move forward, I suppose.
Because obviously once it's set off, it's not going to go off again.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the whole idea is just to obviously just set them off. So I think it's clever. And what I find interesting about this is they're making robots out of cardboard. So what's next? I mean, what else is possible that they could make that are, one-off use type of things with robotics that's inexpensive and cheap to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking what other things that are harmful to us that would be possible. I would imagine they'll come up with other ideas too. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what I could come up with, but I'm not coming up with anything right now.
You can send it into all kinds of hostile environments.
Well, I suppose, it's again
a nuclear reactor.
It's $65. The problem with this one is it goes slow.
Okay.
So it's not something that a nuclear reactor, I'm thinking a drone or something like that would be much, much more efficient. In fact, they're making drones for that particular scenario.
Oh.
They actually have drones that have like arms on them that you can actually
move the
reach
rods
out.
around.
That's exactly right, or whatever you need to do, turn switches on and off or whatever. So that's interesting too. But I think this is pretty interesting, and I hope that they make this a reality. This is just in kind of a test mode right now. So the Sea Turtle, C-Turtle. So I want to go check that out. And I'm
picturing a turtle in my mind, cartoon turtle.
You'll have to go.
Yeah.
If you type it in, you can see this thing. It's in the news feed for the day, so it's kind of fun, and it really does. It's these cardboard pieces that kind of the legs kind of flip just like a turtle does.
Big old dopey looking turtle.
That's exactly
there.
Right.
All right, turtle, go check those landmines. Nope.
That's exactly right.
He's out there. I'm gonna get some baby.
Yeah, Jim. It is Monday, right? I'm just saying. Anyway, next up, Matthew Chaussey. He'll be with Be More Colorful. We're going to be talking about a little bit about VR, virtual reality, and you're going to want to stay tuned for this very, very cool project they have going on in North Dakota. So come on back.
Right now, it's 70.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek at Facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or TheTechRanch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And thanks to everyone across the country and around the world who follow us on the Blueberry Network, the Tech Podcast Network, if a second's here, iTunes, Roku, Apple TV, Tuned In, YouTube, and of course our own app, Radio Pup. All kinds of places you can catch the show either live or a little bit later. I always recommend people, we always talk about a lot of stuff on the show. Please don't write it down while you're driving down the road. Just listen to us a little bit later if you can't do that. Joining us from Be More Colorful, the CEO himself, Matthew Chaussey. Matthew, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you, Marlo?
I'm doing fantastic as well. How are things out in Fargo today?
You know what? It's a beautiful day. We're looking forward to spending some time outside later this afternoon. How are things? How are things in Bismarck?
Yeah, about the same. I think it's supposed to warm up a little bit today. So I actually had a nice time in Fargo over the weekend for Sway Day. I don't know if you got out to lounge around in your hammock on Saturday, but
No, we didn't actually. I was actually up at the State Fair doing some 360 and VR content creation.
Wonderful, wonderful. And, that's a nice segue, by the way, Matthew, because that's what we're talking about today is a little bit about virtual reality. And why don't you just give us a little background on yourself first and how you got into virtual reality and 360 photography?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So Be More Colorful is a virtual reality content agency, and right now we specialize in kind of a segment of virtual reality known as 360-degree imagery. So like the photos that you can spin around Google Street View, I'm sure your listeners are all aware. But there are also a lot of other platforms where that content can reside. This has been Be More Colorful has been a venture that my wife and I started, and it originally started as a digital photography and art studio that has since evolved into getting more creative, getting more innovative with using digital photography and actually solving business problems. So we've been at this for about a year now, and we are focused on using 360-degree imagery for creating immersive experiences and primarily destination-based marketing.
So can you explain further about 360 degree? I mean, I've seen a couple of devices that you can hook up onto your smartphone, for example, and take 360 degree. But can you maybe describe exactly how that works, and then how do you view them? If you were to take a 360 degree photo, how do you view that?
Yep, absolutely. So there are a lot of different ways to create this imagery. There are apps for your phone where you can slowly turn, and it will take a series of images that they can stitch together into a 360 photo. There are single-shot cameras like the Samsung Gear 360 camera, the Ricoh Theta, and then you can get super crazy with high-end rigs that are an array of DSLR cameras that have enough overlap so that everything can be stitched together. But the way that we create these photos is we use high-end professional camera equipment, and we use that equipment and a wide-angle fisheye lens on a rotator. And we take a series of images that then in post-production, we stitch together. So what you end up with is a photo that covers absolutely everything you can see from a single point. When you look at those photos just in an application that's not VR or 360 ready, it looks like kind of a distorted map, like when you flatten out the globe onto a rectangular map.
Yep.
But when you actually put those into an application that can render those the way that they need to be to interact with them, you get immersed in a full 360 scene. And so there are mobile apps for that, but there are a lot of web-based technologies that allow you to view that content as well, and that's where we really focus. And
I've noticed with yours compared to others is that you really are a true 360 because I can look up at the sky. That's what I'm amazed about yours. It's not just like it cuts off at 10 feet and up or whatever. I mean, we're looking at the clouds in the sky. You're looking at the floor. I mean, it's everything in there. So it's
Yep. And we really pride ourselves in creating that premium content where you can see all the way up, all the way down. We also shoot with what's called HDR, which I won't get into the details of that. But what that does is it allows you to see all of the details in the wood grain without having blown out windows or a sun that's completely washed out the entire sky. We really focus on getting the imagery as close to what it would be like to visit that place in person.
Okay. So, and you've thank you for that, by the way, Matthew. So,
yeah,
tell us a little bit now about how you're taking this and move it into something that is very, very creative for North Dakota.
Yeah. Well, so with any of these photospheres, that's kind of the industry terminology for one of those photos where you can see a full 180 degrees up and down and then a full 360 degrees around you. we are taking that imagery and we're creating interactivity within it. There are a lot of platforms where you can upload this content, and you can include website embeds or video embeds or spatial audio. So what we're looking to do with this is we've actually launched a Kickstarter campaign because we're a North Dakota founded and owned company. We figured what better place to launch a big project than right here in North Dakota. So our Kickstarter campaign is focused on crowdsourcing the funding, but also the knowledge of where are all the amazing spaces in North Dakota that we should go and create this type of content. How do we encourage people to come visit the state through 360 imagery? And how do we make people who are here, or encourage people who are here in the state, to go check out something that they may not have seen or may have forgotten about?
So can you maybe take us through, a site that you're going to be doing and how this looks, how it feels, how it works?
Yep. So we haven't solidified any of the sites yet, because what we're actually doing with the campaign is we're crowdsourcing the ideas, and then people who've contributed at a certain dollar amounts will get to vote on what we actually go out and create. But I'll give an example of say, let's say the Burning Hills Amphitheater in Medora.
Perfect.
An ideal shoot for something there would probably be doing a 360 image from the stage. What's it look like to stand on the stage? But also, what does it look like to be sitting in one of the seating sections? What's my view going to be like when I'm observing the play? What's the pitchfork fondue like? So what we really want to do with this is show off what's the series of experiences that you can have in each one of these locations.
So if you were to sit in a particular section, you're going to be able to turn around and see what's behind you, what's in front of you. Are you actually going to take, an image of the Burning Hills singers performing? I mean, is that the whole process, or how does that work?
Yep, we certainly can. Event photography gets a little bit tricky just because there's a lot of moving people and other things going on, but that's absolutely something we would look at, and that's something we could list as one of the possibilities. An actual 360 photo from the middle of the seating area. What does the play look like as it's going on? Okay.
And so maybe give us another example of something that isn't an action shot, maybe like the buffalo in Jamestown.
Yep, and that actually is a photo that we've already captured.
Okay.
So we've kind of been using North Dakota as our muse for the initial pilot project of all of this. And if you check out our Kickstarter campaign, you can actually see a bunch of examples of the North Dakota content we created to help give a really good insight into what we're looking to do on a grander scale.
Okay. So, and do you have the sample of the buffalo on your Kickstarter?
Yes, we absolutely do.
Perfect.
You can go to bemorecolorful.com/ND360.
So bemorecolorful.com/ND360, and there's a link from there to your Kickstarter, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That'll redirect you to the Kickstarter, where we've got the Capitol Mall on the 4th of July. We've got Salem Sioux. We've got Enchanted Highway. There are a ton of examples of content that we've created just this past summer.
Wonderful. And so your Kickstarter is live now.
That's correct, yep.
Okay, and so people can hop in if they want to participate, join in. If they want a particular part of the state recorded using your technology, they're able to do that through that as well?
Yep, they can put in a suggestion, and what we'll do is we'll build essentially a ballot of potential projects that we'll work on. And if we hit our funding goal, then anyone who has contributed at one of the collaborator levels gets a vote on what we create. The idea here is that we'll create at least 200 of these final premium photospheres, and that will be in at least 10 attractions across the state. Our goal is to do even more than that.
Very, very interesting. So, again, it's bemorecolorful.com/ND360. I'll actually have a link to that from our website and our Facebook and Twitter as well, so people who are interested can go do that. Any final thoughts there, Matthew?
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing that we're really looking for is individuals and also businesses and organizations that are looking to contribute. Did want to give a shout out to our biggest backer so far, which has been the Red Willow Bible Camp. They're out of Binford, North Dakota. They're looking to use this to show off that they are, in addition to a Bible camp, they are a full-on retreat center. They've got dog sleds, they've got other winter activities, tons of stuff, and that's where we really think 360 and VR content shines.
All right, thanks, Matthew. Again, everybody, and bemorecolorful.com/ND360. Come on back after the break.
Right now, it's 70.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. supertalk1270.com.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And just by coincidence, we have our next guest coming from Fargo, North Dakota. I actually feel, Jim, that Fargo is the new hotbed of tech startups, at least in the upper Midwest.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy how many new startups are coming out of there. But joining us now is Anthony Molzon. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic as well. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you as well. Not only are we two folks out of Fargo this morning, I just heard Matt's presentation. We're also from a little co-working space called the Prairie Den.
Yes.
Emerging Prairie. So we actually sit down right next to each other on most days and whip up some new innovations.
I love it. That is probably one of my favorite places in the country to go as well. Love the co-working space, and the energy that comes out of the Prairie Den there with the Emerging Prairie is fantastic as well. So absolutely love it. So you are the co-founder of Project Phoenix. And I know you're working on a product called August Flow. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And did we lose you, Anthony? Yes, we did.
We did.
So we'll
call us back.
Call us back.
Yeah, he'll call back.
Call us
He'll
back.
call back.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll be talking a little bit about pilots here with Anthony as soon as he calls us back. I'm hoping that he realizes that he's been disconnected. That's the problem some days or sometimes with technology, is that it doesn't always work like it should.
Yeah.
So I was just
I think we got him back here. Are you there, sir? Hello.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
All right, we're good, Anthony. All right. So
crisis averted.
All right, everybody, take a deep breath. It is Monday, so things will happen, that's for sure. So you are the co-founder of Project Phoenix and working on a project called August Flow. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Aegis Flow is a content platform for drone and aerial pilots. So it's really born out of necessity in a really fast drone services industry. A lot of pilots don't actually have a centralized place to put all the content for folks to search for it, download, and facilitate transactions and contracts. So we're just trying to solve a problem in a very fast industry.
So, I guess I'm kind of thinking about, so you're talking about drone and aerial pilots, so it's not just for drone pilots. If you're commercial aircraft, you can take advantage of this platform as well?
Yeah. In fact, satellites can come too.
Oh, okay.
The idea is that we really just want to take all geospatial content in every format, whether it be geo or rectified photos, like the satellite, aerial images, drone pilots. They also have things like volumetric analysis, videos, videos that are rendered actually geospatially, so you can watch this on a map over a space in time. So we're really just trying to take all of those various mediums and bring them together so you can search for every single location on that.
Hey, Jim, I think we're having an issue with Anthony. We're going to have you just, if you can hear me okay, maybe just try calling us back one more time. We still are having a connection issue here. So, so we'll have him call us back one more time. So,
absolutely.
So Jim, I know we're going to be popping around a little bit, but speaking of drones here, I don't know if you knew this, but the FAA actually lost their court case and you are not legally required to register your drone anymore.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you knew this or not.
I did not hear this.
Yeah, so, what was it, not last year, but the year previous. Is Anthony back with us?
I believe so.
All right,
Anthony, you're there, sir.
It's awesome.
All right.
All right.
Much better. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Very good.
No.
So tell us a little bit now. Let's say I'm a farmer, and how would I use the distribution platform that you're talking about to become a better farmer?
Yeah, actually, you're kind of drawn on the roots of where me and my CTO got our beginnings. So an example would be farmer is maybe looking to prepare to plant a particular crop, and they want to know how to best maximize their field, understanding the amount of nutrients that might be in the soil. So take, for instance, an image that's flown by a drone pilot, for instance, of a bare soil. You can actually determine with a part of the light spectrum, the near infrared, the places where the nutrients like nitrogen are most available, and therefore you can determine where you should plant your seeds as well as your initial application of fertilizer.
So is that information then, if we're talking about the ability to understand the amount of nitrogen in the soil and that it's heavier in some spots and lighter than in the other, are you able to take that information and then program it into a machine that actually puts nitrogen down on the soil so you can evenly balance that through your entire field, for example?
Yeah, that's actually one thing that we're working right now with a partner we've recently aligned with, John Deere. They have a software platform that allows you to actually connect directly to their machines, and you can pass these images, you vectorize them, you can actually apply those values to certain zones or parts of those fields, determining what pixel on that earth represents how much nitrogen or nutrients there are. And you can actually push that into the machine and say, all right, when it gets to that pixel, I need you to spray X. I need you to plant X. I need you to, perform this amount of application in this area. And it's done automatically today.
That's amazing. It really is. So, and I know I might be getting a little bit off topic here, but we'll stay in the same realm anyway. So I'm just curious about insects now. Is there a way that you can determine insects in the field using drones or satellite imagery or whatever and apply that in such a way that you can put down pesticides or what have you?
Yeah, so I guess it really depends on the content that you're using. So we'll start from way high up in space. We'll start with satellite imagery. You'd be looking for a result. So it would be a reactive, areas that are more affected by the stress of, say, bugs eating the leaves. You'd see that there's lower vegetation. You'd be able to tell a scout to go out, review that area, your agronomist, whatever, and then they would make the recommendations using that same map to go and offset spatially. Moving down from the aerial and the drone, you have a higher, much higher resolution. With the timely shot, you may actually be able to catch that bug live and see where it is at within its process and move much closer to proactivity, nip it in the bud before your crop is gone.
That's amazing, actually. So, okay. So, what other, with your content distribution platform, what other uses do you see for this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Some of the folks that I've been talking with, chatting with pilots, is this something that we really should continue building forward? I'm getting the absolutely, please put me on your beta list. And these are folks from construction, the energy sector, oil and gas, and power lines for sure. Areas where you need to get regular updates. Take, for instance, like oil and gas pipelines. A simple thing that could be solved with good use of drones and some other IoT technologies is leak detection. It's not so far away. People are doing it already, but with a good dispatching system like AegisFlow, you can then say, I need regular updates of these 215 points on Earth. We find all the pilots in the area. We notify them. They take the content that this contractor wants, uploads it into Aegisflow, and we actually let them, the contractor, know, and then they can make the actionable decision with that information.
And I know people are interested. How do we find you online?
Yeah, so Aegisflow, AEGISFLOW.com. But it's like the old adage: two hairstylists next to each other. One's got a hair slicked back, and the other one's grungy but a line out the door. We're kind of in doing the thing, plugging and chugging. So there's not a lot of content on the website. So if you want updates, follow me at PXDB_project. That's our Twitter handle.
Okay.
And we'll keep you up to date with more to come. We got a couple of good things coming up. I hope some folks in the area are able to get out to the TEDx Fargo here on Thursday. There's also a Drone Focus in the area. There's a pretty heavy hitter presenter this Wednesday, and then we're heading out to the cities to something called the Clean Tech Open. Folks out there have, like our project that we're working on, and they want to put us in contact with people to help get this thing to market faster. The old Greg Devine, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you're going to be at Drone Focus this Wednesday. You're going to be at TEDx this Thursday, and then you're off to the cities to do some stuff over there as well. Yeah. Crazy.
Until it's built, we got to talk to people about what we're building. So
absolutely.
I got to keep.
Yeah, absolutely. So Anthony, it's been a pleasure. Everything that Anthony was talking about, we'll have at thetechranch.com, and of course on our Facebook and Twitter as well. So that if you're interested in knowing more about what Anthony is up to, and it's fascinating, by the way, you'll want to do that. So thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you on the Tech Ranch today.
Right now, it's 74.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And we've had a full show today.
Yeah.
Considering it's a Monday. I'm having a hard time keeping up today, Jim.
And considering we've got the geezer, I found something to keep the geezer occupied.
Really?
Yeah, we sent him out in the backyard here with a big stick. He's looking for landmines. He hasn't found any yet. I doubt that he will. But
I'm thinking he won't either. But
it'll keep him.
It'll keep him busy for a while. I appreciate that, actually.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. So windmills. Yes.
Yeah.
Wind power.
Some people tilt at them.
Yes, they do.
Because they dream the impossible dream.
So they are actually putting these offshore now. I don't know if you knew this or not.
No.
The Peterhead Wind Farm, known as High Wind, is a trial which will power 20,000 homes, and these windmills float on the water.
Oh, actually, I did hear about that.
Yeah, okay. It's interesting, actually, isn't it? I mean, these things, I don't know if there's I'm assuming it's a counterbalance weight type of deal, where these things, the windmills stay upright. And
get that nice ocean breeze coming in.
Yeah, and I guess that they use the ocean currents create, a breeze themselves, like you're talking about, right?
Sure.
So even on calm days, they probably will spin up a little bit more than like we would have on land. So it's interesting, and the fact that there's so much ocean. There's so much ocean.
There's a lot of ocean, a lot of water out there.
Yeah, and you're not tying up land mass by putting windmills up. And I think have you ever gone by a wind farm?
Once or twice. Well, they have them here, of course.
Right. Have you ever stopped and gone outside?
You mean up close?
Yes.
Not really.
So they do emit a little bit of they're noisy. Some of them are really noisy. Some of the older ones that I've been to, some of these older wind farms, it just sounds like a bunch of gears clacking out in the field. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. The newer ones, of course, have better technology, and they're a lot quieter. But there's still this constant going out in there, and you take that times the 50 or 100 of them that are sitting out there. I'd imagine the people that are out there listening to that all day long get a little tired of it.
Yeah, if you live right next to it, it probably would be an issue.
Right.
I was going to ask you about that, if there is any kind of pollution issue from windmills.
Well, that would be sound, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about lubricant? I mean, you have to oil these things, right? Or grease them?
There is a servicing mechanism that goes along with them too, but that's not unlike any other energy. If you have an electrical plant that's coal-fired or
Right.
whatever. I mean, they all take massive amounts of maintenance. Wind power isn't as maintenance intensive, I guess. So that would be the positive side to it. It takes a little more dollars per kilowatt to get the thing started, right?
Okay.
But I think on the other side of it, there's a lot less as far as maintenance costs go. So it kind of equals out as it goes on. So, but it is interesting that we're taking these offshore. I don't know how people feel about that. I don't know if there's any environmental impact because of that. I don't know if that does something to the fish or the birds that live out there or what the deal is, but I'm guessing it will have less impact. I mean, logically, it seems like it would have less impact to me. I don't know about you.
But again, logically, as we've learned over the years the hard way, sometimes the conventional thinking can be leading you in the wrong direction.
Right. And I guess the other thing, of course, is that water and electricity don't mix very well.
That's true,
just
too.
saying. So I'm not sure if, it's just like taking, oil off the ocean floor. I mean, there's a lot of it out there, and sometimes something goes wrong, and we have a leak or something along those lines. I don't know. Are we going to have some electrical issues, too? I mean, what happens if electricity, gets into the water? Does it kill a bunch of fish? Or I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll be finding these things out sometime in the future. So
until then, we're the I don't know show.
That is true. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So, machines listening to you. There's all kinds of new devices that are now listening to us. I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can buy a refrigerator now that will listen to you. It will you can just say refrigerator. Put milk on my list, and it will put milk on my list.
The refrigerator doesn't have a name.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the first thing, right?
Friggy.
What do you?
Howdy ho! I'm Friggy, the refrigerator.
That's hilarious, Jim.
Thank you.
I wonder, that is something, isn't it? Are we going to start naming our appliances? Because I mean, our toaster is going to be doing things for us.
I mean,
our
we
blender,
have Siri, we have Alexa.
That's right. What are we going to call it? A refrigerator, right?
Nippy. I don't know.
That's good too. I love it. But yeah, I mean, these are more and more of these devices are coming into our home, and they're convenient. But you just have to know one thing: in order for this technology to work, it has to always be listening to you. Always. Always has to be listening to you. So do you, if you don't have proper security set up on that, that means somebody can hack into your refrigerator and listen to what's going on in your kitchen. If you, or the workplace, break room or whatever it is, wherever you got a refrigerator set up. So, I mean, just one more reason or one more way that, our homes and our office buildings are under this constant barrage of privacy invasion, I guess is the best way to say it, right? Because we've never lived in a time where privacy is being invaded upon more than we are right now. I mean, people are concerned about drones flying by their windows.
Yeah.
That is so yesterday, it's not even funny. I mean, the cameras on drones nowadays can be miles away from you and peek into your window, and you would never know it. And they still have high-quality images. So I wouldn't even be concerned about that. I would be more concerned about the cameras and my toaster in my house more than I would be.
Toaster listening in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I heard what you were doing last night. Oh, man.
Thanks, man, for that. Yeah. So anyway, just when you're buying your appliances nowadays, I think we need to start a top 10 list of what are you going to call your refrigerator?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it has to be endearing to you now. If you can communicate with it, why
give
not
it a name. I mean, not "Hey you refrigerator." That doesn't sound cool at all.
And I'm thinking, the one refrigerator in particular has Amazon Alexa capabilities, so it talks back to you as well.
Oh, okay.
So you really could have a conversation with your refrigerator if you want to.
Interesting.
Just saying.
Some people have nothing better to do with their time.
I can just see it already. First time somebody walks into somebody else's house and you're talking to the fridge. Yeah,
I can see it being very popular in the homes of divorcees and.
Oh my goodness! So we did start talking earlier about that you don't have to register your drones anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So that's actually.
Now, how did that come about?
So this is interesting, actually. So John Taylor. Model aircraft enthusiast brought a case against the FAA in January of 2016. So in December. Actually, it was probably November of 2015. You and I actually put this out before national news put this out.
Oh yeah, I mean we've been covering it at least
for
that
a long
long.
time. Yeah,
we've been here at least.
We were talking about it, and that you'd have to register your drone. And,
right.
And remember, we were talking about
we were counting down the deadline.
We were
saying, oh, you only like 3 more months to do this.
And what was crazy about it is that they pushed that site out so fast it wasn't even secure, so that
I remember
people
that.
had to put their social security number or their driver's license number into this thing, right? And it was widely accessible. Anybody, you and I, could go on there and get our buddy's social security number. It was crazy how bad it was. Which, I mean, I hate to say this over the air, but I did not register my drone because of that. You know, I haven't flown it a lot since then, but I guess since the Supreme Court, basically stated that we don't have to register our drones now. So,
well, the question they're going to ask is how do we keep track of all these drones if there's a problem?
So I think what's happening right now is that there are actually, let's see here, in my notes, I know I have this, but one of the senators is bringing up a bill that will address this issue. So it won't be just handled by the FAA, and hopefully they'll have some security behind it. So the drone industry actually wants registration of drones.
They do want it.
They do want it. They're not exactly happy about this ruling because it does give our police a way to basically, make sure that you and I are law-abiding, and if something, if they find a drone somewhere, if they take down a drone because it was doing something nefarious, that they have a way to track this thing down,
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you can get a small bomb sticking on a drone and fly it over your target. Boom,
that's correct.
there you go.
That's correct. I mean, so those type of things, although we haven't seen them happen here, they've been happening in other parts of the world. It does you need to have a way to register these things. There's no doubt about that. I don't have a problem with that either. Mm-hmm. It's just that you got to give people a secure way to do this, because I don't want to be sharing my information with the same person you were just talking about.
Right.
So I want that ability to be safe and secure, and I think that this will be the outcome from all of this. But it's unfortunate now that we're pushing up on 2 years since this whole thing started now, and there's no resolution in sight as to what to do with all these drones in the country. So,
it's a common problem, the government catching up with technology.
They never catch up. In fact, they're always
right.
a little behind, and technology moves so quick nowadays that that's just how it is. So, yeah. So, wow.
We got about 2 minutes.
We do. So what else should we talk about real quick?
Oh, boy. Anything of note over the weekend?
I was trying to think of technology. So have you ever used Eventbrite?
Eventbrite.
Yes.
I've certainly heard of it.
Okay. So, when you go to, I always do this when I go to towns. I always hop on to Eventbrite, and Meetups is the other one, meetups.com. So these two places you can go to, and you can find out what's going on in the area. So, like when I'm in Vegas, for example, I'll hop on to Meetups and just see if there's like a blogging event going on, because I like to blog a little bit. Or,
cool.
But it can be anything. They have hikes in the mountains that are Meetups and that type of thing. So there's all kinds of places and things that you can see and do by using Eventbrite and Meetup. So,
not like Lightbright.
Not like Lightbright.
Remember Lightbright?
Yes, I do.
That was a cool toy.
In fact, at one time that was coming back. They have an app
for that. I thought it was. They have an app for it?
Yeah, so that
excellent.
It has multicolor changing type of deals on it now. And yeah.
See, the only problem with Lightbright is you have to, once you use up all the black paper, you're out of black paper.
Right.
You have to buy more, or you're, you can't use it anymore.
Isn't that the whole point? I'm just saying.
Damn, you are a marketing genius. You should be working for General Motors.
Or Mattel.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever
you
came
can
out
tell
with
it's
Lightbright,
Mattel.
right? Yeah.
It's swell. Oh, boy.
Too funny. Well, anyway, we really appreciate everybody getting through Monday Head with us. Because it has been that, hasn't it, Jim? Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyway, Jim, have a great week.
Likewise.
I will not be here next week, by the way,
no.
so we'll have to find somebody that's going to take my place.
Excellent.
We'll have 2 listeners instead of 1 next week, so that'll be great. But anyway, thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us this week on the Tech Ranch.